Hey guys, welcome back to a new video of Abovent. And first of all, if I sound different, I got a new mic, so hooray. But anyways, welcome back. Last video, I did a few stuff, or the video before Operateur, before he did the little bit spooky section for the dog ride station. Which was super cool. So if you haven't watched that yet, guys, I would really recommend you guys to go watch it. But if so, what I'm doing today, guys, is that I took the challenge here and went for making, or starting at least, on the queue lines and station for both mine train coasters. The only goal I had, theme-wise, was to make it some sort of a mine shaft entrance in some way, because I wanted to keep on having sort of the same rustic, authentic vibe Operateur has done inside of the island. So I just felt like I wanted to do something in that way. So the first thing I'm doing, guys, is that first of all, I felt like I needed to figure out a way to enclosure these two queues here, so there wasn't this super annoying space between them. So it felt like they were more built up next to each other. So that's mainly the thing I'm doing in the first section of the video, and I'm gotta say, this queue is possibly the worst queue line in this entire park, especially this section here. I took a lot of breaks on it, and I was like always writing on Discord to Operateur like, oh man, this is killing me, because it was really challenging. It might not look it like that when you see me just place bills or place planks after plank, but I assure you guys, this was very difficult. And also I didn't want it to have the guests to clip through the wall and all that stuff. So yeah, it was something to try tackle, but I came out of it okay. But the main thing I'm doing here is I'm just trying to enclosure the queue lines first, and then next video I'm doing maybe one of the stations. I think that I will probably try to fix this area entirely. Operateur might come in and add a few things or maybe build something, but for now I kind of have this sort of image in my head of what I want to go for. So this is also kind of like the first try on how I wanted the area to look like. And I don't know if I will have both stations look like similar to each other, but it's definitely gonna have the same mineshaft vibe. I will definitely not just build one station and just duplicate it to the other one. I still want to make them a little bit different to each other, but still also have the mine shaft vibe, or how do you say? But what you're seeing me do here, guys, is I'm experimenting a lot in this start too. As you see, I use these sort of planks as Operateur did too, and I'm take my hats off for him of working with these so patiently. Oh, because they're a tedious work, especially because they don't have that stop function as soon as you place them. So you have to like wait for it to go in. Yeah, have to get it go in, and then you can pause it and then remove the trickable thing, you know, and everything. So it was tedious work, but I got through it, and I took my hats off of Operateur for doing this too, especially all that many he placed inside of the island, because whew. But anyways, guys, we're back here on the front. I'm not quite sure with the sign here, because we don't actually know yet what to call the coasters, but we will get to it. We have some ideas, a little brainstorming, but it's not far. So now they're just red and blue. It was Operateur that called him that, so he could so he could look at which track he was working with when he had to make the scenery. So that's not what we're gonna call them. That is just a temporary thing, but we'll get to it eventually. But as I said, guys, I'm mainly just trying to enclosure the two queue lines here, trying to give it a little bit of support and trying to see how everything kind of will look together. So I think it's like in the end of the video. I think this is mainly just me for 20 minutes or so, building kind of like the base, the structure, kind of like the things that where I want them, and then I'm gonna add the detailing on at the last part. And when the detailing come on, well, it just looks totally different. So this video in some way might be a little bit messy, but it is kind of like inside here, and it is a mine, so it has to be messy, but in that way that, as I said, I will probably make a few more videos of this area. So this is mainly just part 1, where I'm doing the first queue and a tiny bit of the station for the first one. But yeah, nothing is gonna be 100% completed in this video, but I just felt like I wanted to build some parts and make it presentable enough so we could have a good cinematics, and also so it would look presentable enough for you guys in the end. Because in the long haul, it was mainly just wood that I placed, so it looked a little bit bare, but we will get to that point in the end of the video, guys. I was a little bit in the way up here with the planks and all that. If this should be the way that I should go for, or if I should use some small fences or ropes or that style. But I feel like the planks probably were the only way to go with this part, and then just it kind of still like the planks usually gives some sort of a wooden mine shaft vibe, if that's what you're going for. So I was okay with it, and of course I'm trying to give them a little bit more detailing here and there, some ropes and trim work and all that, so it's not just planks that are placed. So anyways, I think it's pretty good so far of what I have achieved, what I achieved in this video. I'm pretty sure that this queue line is gonna be one of the good queue lines, one of the best ones I do, because it has 2, right? And I can kind of mix and match them all together, and kind of like so the queue lines actually are in one queue line, but it feels like that's no, that was the other way around. It's 2 queue lines, but it feels like you can kind of like go past them, and you will see that later in the video where I made like this little door you can go through to each queue, and it kind of get them both together, and it kind of feels like that it's something where you can move around inside of, or in this down here. So I'm quite satisfied so far. I mean, of the options I had for doing this, I think it's okay of what I come up with. And as I said, there will still be a lot of things you might think, okay, this looks plain, or this might be a little bit crooked, or oh, he needs to put support there, but all that will come, guys. As I said, I was mainly focusing on one of the queue parts after I do this little entrance here, and then when we go deeper into the island, or the mine, if I should say it like that, then a lot more stuff will come. And some of the stuff, there's a lot of tiny compact space in one of the queues, so I think it might only be a few cables and ropes, and maybe a few of those lanterns hanging, because it won't allow me to place a lot of stuff there. So it's gonna be tough to tackle, but we gotta love the challenges, because that what makes us a better builder. So, and sometimes I do go down and look a little bit of what Operateur did, kind of like to spice up my creativity, to see, oh, how did he used this piece and that, and so sometimes it also gives a little bit of ideas of just peeking around the park a little bit and just look at some of the other stuff you might did. Because I mean, sometimes when I build, I sometimes forgot stuff I used or did in a build I did 3 months ago. It doesn't occur to me when I build, because when I build, I have like I have an overall view of all the pieces, but I do like, you do have your favorite pieces, and sometimes you just always prefer to use those, so you don't really look at other pieces in that way, and they kind of like get forgotten, and yeah, so sometimes it's quite good to just go back or look at your blueprints or whatnot and trying to like see, oh, I can't even remember I did this for this part, or it's actually also kind of funny. Sometimes it feels a little bit nostalgic. I mean, it's blueprints. From in my case, it's like 2-year-old blueprints now from when the game launched, and some of them are really really bad. But we don't talk about that, okay? No, we have to start somewhere, right? But anyways, that was just a little bit of a rant from me, guys. But anyways, guys, this is a lot of ropes here, but it was a little bit of a struggle here, so I kind of went with the curved ones. They kind of made it okay for this purpose, because since it kind of goes in a little bit half a circle, so the ropes were really helpful here. But I will do a little bit more stuff to the queue, guys, and then I will go into the main thing I'm working on and talk a little bit more. But for now, I will give you guys some tunes, and yeah, I'll get back to you guys. Enjoy. Alright guys, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the music. You've been seeing me struggling here a little bit with this bridge that you've seen me do here, which is something that I didn't actually know what I could build. So I felt like, because the other coaster comes up on the other side of this little overhang bridge I did. And I feel like it would be kind of cool to kind of like feel like that both sides are running with something, and then have this bridge that basically no one can walk on, but have it as a scenery. So I went with it, and after that I just tried to some sort of figure out how I could make it feel more mine shaft ish. In that way, so I tried to use these planks here from the Spooky pack, I think it is, which is, they're very good actually. I actually never thought of using them as this kind of wall in that way. I actually thought they were too big, but they go very well at this, and especially if you trim them a little bit too, and it kind of gives it that nice rustic effect of wood, and you know, like everything is just purely made just to be there for some, yeah, you know, nothing, not super crazy support or anything. So after I did that, I kind of like just imagined a little bit of a station I would make. So this is kind of like just me building a little bit here. So this kind of, the left side of this little shack I'm building here is presentable, and that's kind of like the place we're gonna focus on afterwards. So as I said, the first 20 minutes or so, I'm basically just preparing up, doing stuff, fiddling a little bit around with all the pieces, and you know, just placing pieces, see where it takes me, and see if anything kind of like gets something that I could do, or get an idea. And so yeah, I'm basically just, as I said guys, with the placing pieces part, like I don't really have any kind of goal or idea on how to do this. I just place down stuff, and sometimes it goes in a good way, sometimes it goes in a bad way. But for now, I'm quite satisfied with this kind of style I'm doing here, because also the ropes does a lot to this, especially when it comes to this bridge. It really makes it look authentic, and it feels like it has a purpose there, so people can actually go across here, even though it's not even like, you can't really do anything. It's mainly just for scenery. And for now it looks pretty plain, but as soon I will add a lot of detail to this area, and that's kind of like what I meant by dividing this episode, or dividing this area here. Because if it was for me, I could probably have built further on and got more stuff done, but then we would have gone to those 45-50 minutes videos or something, and nah. So I felt like I just could do, if I just focused on this part for now, and just try to have some ideas of what I would do with rest of the areas, and also to kind of like share with you guys. So the thing I want to do here is just, I want to make this place so busy as I can. Also the other station, just basically everything that is in this little area here, I want to make it super busy and compact, so it feels like the only thing that is here is basically the queue. And the coaster, which is gonna blend in like all the scenery and all that stuff. And I felt like that the queue for now just didn't really have a purpose. It felt like it needed, like, you know, some things where you can, like, you should be able to move around it, and so that's why I made all these fake stairways and ways. You also saw me do a little bit in the where there were music, where I did those two connection things with the little door from both queues. Which I kind of think is a pretty neat idea. And as I said, that area on that part is, I'll probably focus on that part next time. I think I want to focus on the queue lines first, and then jump over to the stations and focus on them. Because, as I said, I think these queue lines here might be some of the toughest one to do in this park. Besides that little other queue for the other the other coaster we have. So, but yeah, this park is it's quite a struggle here, especially when it comes to place. But we wing it as usual, and we hope for the best. So here I'm making this sort of little, yeah, you know, a transporter thing. Oh my god, transporter thing. I can't remember what it's called right now. But let's. I felt like this it was something quite neat for like a little bit of a contraption with that kind of like can move back and forth with stuff to the bottom, and also like yeah, just move it back and forth. And I think I want to make a few more of those, kind of like everywhere, so it feels like things can be moved around and everything is kind of like, as I said, super busy, a lot of clutter. And yeah, I think the other station yet I don't really have such a good idea on yet, except for that I want to keep with this theme, but I still want to try and make it a little bit different, as I said. But I know that I'm 100% sure that if it's doable, I'll try to kind of like have this sort of where you have a busy area, and then the other station might be some sort of a prep room, or like where we have all the box, like, yeah, I don't know, like where you have a storage room, but it's basically where they do all the stuff before they enter like the cave. And then this room could some sort of be some sort of other where people like jump on the train and go into the mine, and the other one is kind of like a transporter thing or something like that, make it a little bit different from each other. So also both stations kind of like have a unique meaning to the island and the coaster itself. So I'm still brainstorming a little bit, but it's kind of like the idea. You see me sometimes go back and forth up to the island, but that's because some of the stuff from the beautiful and gorgeous bridge or lift bridge Operateur did was kind of a little bit in the way here. I think the thing is, when we built all this stuff on the top, we didn't expect to have all this below. We did expect to have something, but I think at some point it got a little bit out of hand. But still with a little bit of focus and control, of course. But it's, yeah, so the thing is that sometimes we need to a little bit move some things back and forth and try to see if we can do it other way. So I'm just moving back some pieces and all that stuff from this ground here, because we are very, very close to the top, or to the foundation on the ground, compare here inside of the island. So you see also a little bit of rocks and all that stuff. And I'll probably do also a lot more support texture inside of the island, have these rocks so we get more textures and have a lot more supports like holding up the rocks, just kind of like it feel more cavey and like more mountainy, both ways, I guess. So here we are starting a little bit with the detailing part. I start a little bit of trim work on this guy over here. This guy is probably gonna get a little bit more detailing. Now I just wanted him to have some trim work and some windows, basically, because I feel like it was too plain for now, and it kind of gave a little bit of a nice look at it when you saw it a little bit from a distance. So I'm okay how that looks for now, but I will add a lot more stuff to it. I felt like if I close this part in, I could do some more detailing and some more stuff around this area, and you basically don't see anything inside here. Then it's mainly just the queue coming all the way from the top to here. So I felt like I might as well just cover it up and just have some trim work instead, because I'm gonna put up a trapdoor on this wall here, kind of like make it feel like some sort of a little yeah, I don't know, a room where they can cover stuff or hide stuff or whatever, it just makes a nice feeling to it. And the trap, I didn't feel like making my own, so I just went the short way and used the trapdoor for now. And as I said, all the support work and all that stuff, I will do that too. I'll do a little bit of it here, you see, where I'm just trying to get an idea of how it would look. But I'm super satisfied of how this area turned out as soon as I end up adding the details, as you see here. So the detailing was a little bit hard. I know it's because you basically see me build or place same four things: barrels, dynamite, barrels, oil drums, and that dynamite trigger. But I guess if you place it kind of right and all that stuff, you can make it look okay, decent. But it is a mine, so we have to have a lot of dynamite. So I guess it makes sense in the end. Afterwards, I'm adding up the last ropes and some cables and just trying to enclosure the area a little bit more and make it look nice and dandy. And the thing was that at this point here, I actually was a little bit unsure what to do, if I should just close it in, because it was such a short way, or like a short tiny place I had to put stuff on. But then the ropes came for a rescue here, and I could kind of like mix and match it together with some of the pillars, and it looked okay, and it looked way better now as soon as it got support up to the terrain as well. But as I said, guys, all that stuff will be added in further videos, because I didn't feel like doing that at this point right now, even though it would have been kind of cool to see it with like some more rock texture and more supports on the terrain. But I'll probably do that in the next video. I'll for sure be finished with one of the areas in next video, because I feel like I'm in a groove here, and it's been a long time since I made something like this before, and I'm really liking the style and the theme. So I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna do something pretty nice to the other station area as well. And here I'm just adding a little bit. I thought it was kind of nice to have it look stand on a rock texture instead of just being a plank. It didn't really look. It looked a little bit off to me. And here I'm just adding those planks to the station at this part, as I said. So this area kind of like gets quite good. So it has a nice look to it when you look at it from this distance here. So the rest of the station will also be covered up with these kind of planks and all that stuff. I'll definitely just go and try and make this place an area super busy with a lot of clutter and all this kind of wooden structure and support. And yeah, I'm gonna try and make it look super cool here, guys. So, but I will definitely make sure that all this stuff here is gonna have it's gonna make sense when all this is done, as I said. So and here I'm just adding a little bit of, you know, a little bit of support here. I will definitely add a little bit of more rocks or support texture and all that stuff underneath here, so it also feels like it's actually bearable enough for things to be on. So I'm gonna look into all that stuff when we come in the later videos of this section of the park. Here I'm just adding a little bit of lighting and some cables, as I said, because I feel like it was nice to make it look better in the nighttime maybe than in day, because right now you see all the bare texture on the terrain, and yeah, it also some of the wooden planks haven't been all turned around, and so everything kind of like has some sort of the same texture when you see it here in daytime. So, but anyways, guys, I'm at the end here, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and have an awesome day, and I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy the cinematics. Bye, guys.